I'd like to bring in now civil rights lawyer and activist Nakima Armstrong and director of the Health Disparities Institute at UConn Health, Wisdom Powell, for more on this very much of a high-stakes trial. Nakima, let's start with you. We heard in Elwyn's piece that potential jurors are being questioned about their knowledge of Arbery's murder and also their attitudes toward race in America and the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's talk about how the media attention on this case can truly impact a jury and also the criteria for its selection.
Well, I think that the media's role is like a double-edged sword. On the one hand, were it not for the media helping to publicize this case, the majority of folks across America would not even know Ahmaud Arbery's name. And then on the other hand, you have folks who have been consumed with news about the case, which could potentially impact their ability to serve on a jury and to be neutral coming into the trial.
So, Wisdom, what do you make of day one of jury selection, and what are you looking out for with respect to the entire process?
Thank you for the question. I mean, obviously, this trial holds a lot of emotional valence for the family, for Black communities, and for our nation. And because of this, we should expect that this trial will have some psychological impact on jurors. And I think to be certain, we have to recognize how important of a role jurors play in our American justice system. So I'll be paying attention, obviously, to the instruction given by the judge to jurors as they enter the trial, particularly because we know that jurors can experience psychological distress, adverse impacts as a result of serving on the trial, which can be mitigated if, in fact, they are primed and prepared for the emotional impacts that will surely ensue.
And Nakima, you know, the men are arguing that they were acting under Georgia's former citizens arrest law, which was repealed after Arbery's death. How much will that law and the timing of the repeal play a part in this trial, you think?
I think that it could definitely have an impact, especially given a part of the defense's case will be that Travis and his father relied upon that law when they decided to pursue Ahmaud Arbery. The fact that the father in this case had been a police officer may also come into play in terms of his claims of tracking down an alleged burglary suspect. I'm glad that that law was repealed. I am sure that there are roots connected to racism with regard to that particular law, but it's a shame that it took the death of a 25-year-old Black man minding his own business for that law to be repealed.
So, Wisdom, how do you think this trial is going to be remembered in history?
Well, I'm hoping that we will remember, first of all, that this trial is an opportunity for us to revisit wounds that have been deeply affecting America's consciousness for a very long time. And I'm hoping that we'll remember that the trial itself is necessary to ascend us to a form of justice that we have been long awaiting. I think that it's really going to be important for us to remember what brought us to this critical precipice so that we don't repeat these same mistakes twice. Undoubtedly, we are all holding our collective breaths, waiting to see what will prevail in the end. And I hope that we'll remember that this kind of wounding can be prevented and mitigated if we intervene on the structures that produce the kinds of inequities that brought this to bear on our consciousness.
And Nakima, your thoughts as well on that before we wrap.
Well, I'm sure that this trial will be very triggering, particularly for Black people here in this country. As you know, we just experienced the trial of Derek Chauvin here in Minneapolis, the man who was primarily responsible for the murder of George Floyd, along with 3 other officers. Our community still has not healed from the trauma of George Floyd's killing as well as the trial, and I see a lot of similarities with this particular case. So I'm hopeful that we will be able to get through this and that at the end of the day, justice will prevail.
And we'll be covering it. Nakima and Wisdom, ladies, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.